I've just finished a blog entry about 5 tips to overcome perfectionism and being more productive. So I'll be sharing 5 tips here very briefly with you. And you can go to my blog if you want to print a cheat sheet on how you can handle perfectionism, if that is something that will be very helpful to you. Okay, so I will dive into the 5 tips on how you can overcome perfectionism and be more productive here. Okay, tip number 1 is to work within time limits. So one idea I can share with you is that you can work outside, maybe in cafes or libraries or wherever or whatever works for you. Okay, so because when you're in a cafe, for example, you know that you can't be sitting there the whole day. So you will be under some kind of time pressure to finish your work maybe within 2 hours or so. And you can also bring a laptop along and don't bring your charger with you. So if your laptop dies off after 1.5 hours like mine does, so you can feel that pressure to finish your work within that period of time. Okay, so that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to stick to one decision. So if you are a perfectionist, chances are you will be changing your mind, tweaking your projects, and changing directions halfway through the project and all of that. All that should be normal to you if you are a perfectionist by nature. So because we do this because we want the project or our presentation to be perfect, you know. So one way to prevent this is to stick to one decision and to stick to your decision, all right? So don't keep changing your ideas halfway through the project, or the project will never be done on time, or it will not be done at all. So that's one tip. Tip number 2 is to stick to one decision. Tip number 3 is to put yourself out there. Okay, for this one, you can tell the people around you that your project or whatever it is that you're working on will be done by 31st October or some other specific date. So the idea is that we will be hard pressed to finish the project by that deadline to avoid embarrassment of some sort. And also the good thing is that the people around you will start asking you about your project when the deadline is nearing. So this will actually motivate you to finish that project or that presentation or whatever you're working on ASAP. Okay, tip number 4 is to realize that mistakes are not life-threatening. Okay, so this is a mindset shift. So you have to realize that we are all valuable but imperfect human beings, and that the most successful people in the world have failed more times than the average person. So if we have made a mistake or we failed, you can take a few days to get over the embarrassment, and then you can try a different approach, try a new approach. So actually people are much kinder to us than we think, and if you are a perfectionist, chances are you are much harder on yourself than the people around you are. Okay, so and tip number 5, the last tip that I'm sharing with you here, is to recall your little successes. So I wrote a whole blog post about it. Okay, so the idea is to recall your meaningful successes so that you will get a boost of self-esteem. So you can go to my blog post, okay, I will post it somewhere here, and you can read how you can create your own success log to get that instant boost of confidence. And at the same time, I just want to tell you that I am writing a book called A Beautiful Mindset, and it will transform you from being self-critical to self-loving. So you can learn more about this ebook on my website as well. And I think that's all I have for today. So have a good week.